months ago, I started this project here. I wanted to build just a workshop initially for myself, and then I decided that I would take it an extra step further, because I've always had an interest in the old framing videos that I've been following for years. So I decided that I was going to do something different, and I wanted to make it into a cabin style, where I would use the big Douglas fir beams, get them specially cut for myself, design them, and then do the old mortise and tenons and all the old framing like you see here, and build something that I've always wanted to build, partly as a challenge. I'm not a carpenter, I'm actually a photographer, and so I started this project about 4 months ago, and this is a kind of a landmark stage for me, because I have almost completed the letting of the roof. I've just the back section of it to do, and as you can see, it's got a front porch so far, and it's got all the beams finished on the ceiling. Now they'll all be covered, and there'll be pine facing on those, tuna groove pine on those beams, pretty much finished. There will be a rail over there on that, windows have to be put in, and inside this is going to be a high cathedral ceiling, and those big beams that you're seeing there, that particular one there is down slightly lower because it's a loft, and those big beams are the main support for the roof, which, as you can see, the ridge board and so on, the support is supported up there, and this is what it basically looks like here. Now I have what I consider the most difficult part of it done. I've just got the finished rafters on that side of the roof, and like this one, there's the other half, so I've half it done, and as you can see, it's all well supported. So initially there'll be this big cathedral ceiling that's only sheeting up here that I put so that I can walk around up on it. So this video is just part one of 4 parts, and this takes from the green field right up to this stage, and there'll be 4 parts of the video until it's completely finished, which I expect to have done within 4 or 5 months. So enjoy the video of the stages up to now, and apologies for the poor quality of videoing and sound, which will give you an idea. Hopefully for the next stage it'll be better. Now bear in mind that every bit of this was done by myself on my own, without any help from anybody, and everything, so it's quite enjoyable and I like it. So stay tuned with me, and there's 4 more episodes to come, so let me know what you think. Right, that's that popped in here. Some more taps. Get out of my garden. Okay, here we are. Front wall up, ready for the big beams. One small problem. This is out 3/4 of an inch. And I can't move it. I have all the nails separated from the wall, so this is freestanding. Because there's so much lumber in all of this, in order for me to shift it, it has to move every single joint to hold it over. So I'm going to have to resort to the Egyptian technology. So what I've done is, starting on the wall over here, that board isn't going anywhere. I've created a slide rail, an adjustable rail, 6x4 up against it. So the plan is I beat that down, because I can't go over there, it has to move that direction. So let's see how we do it. All I want is to go off an inch. Hi again, here I am. This is what I'm at, sitting on a large beam, cutting mortises out for those supports. So things are getting there slowly but surely. I have most of the supports for the purlins. Now that's the purlin there and its support. If I could get into it, it's getting a bit crowded in here. So that's what that looks like. That's the purlin. Now that's actually the roof, as you know. I was saying to you earlier, that's set up on the ground. That's the purlin. That's the ridge beam. That's the other purlin. So I've just got to, that's what I'm actually doing now, is mortising it for that. And that will go in here. And this one I can't do yet, because that's being, well, those beams are sitting on the wall plate. Those beams there are sitting on the wall plate. They will be sitting on that wall plate up in that notch. This one here is going to be sitting 14 inches lower in there. So obviously the measurement of the support is going to be different. So what I'm going to do is I'll mortise it out, and I'll actually make those when they're on the roof, because it'll be too hard to calculate otherwise. Still wondering how I'm going to get those up in that wall plate. But it's coming together. It stopped raining, which is a good thing. I've all the measurements figured out. That's the template of the rafter for this side. This one here is slightly different, because there's an 18-inch overhang on the one over there, and this one does not. It's been cut flush face with the wall plate, because there's an extension roof out over the deck, and it'll be joining it, and there'll be a fascia board flattening that flush up against the wall plate. But I would left run wild for a minute, so I can cut that back after. But I'm pretty happy with the way those have worked out. The fact that the beam is the ridge beam is a 9x3. That's why the rafter's hanging off of it, and that will be bolted through that, 2 dowels in there, and the same down here. That's where that's mortised into that. There'll be 3 dowels, also probably bolts going through that, so that will hang the centre of that beam, supporting it. A few little adjustments to make here and there. I'm pretty happy about the way that worked out. rather than take it apart again, I'm just putting a little note in the back of that I need to just shave a tiny piece off the tenon on that one just to reduce it, because it's perfectly level at the moment, so I don't want to go, let me see it from this side, so I don't want to go messing with it, so it's perfectly level. So I want to try and get this finished and dry fitted, including some of the templates of the rafters, because this is being stripped down, because I have a guy coming with a crane and a truck hopefully to try and lift those, but I actually don't see how he's going to do it, because that's 8 foot out to there. That means he's going to have to reach in over here and get it, and the ridge beam will be on the top. So one thing I forgot to mention there was the reason I was telling you that this beam here is 14 inches down is because there's a mezzanine going up there. There'll be a railing all along here, so there'll be a stairs going up over there in the back of that up onto a mezzanine. So I dropped it 14 inches, and that means that the ceiling joist over my head where I walk under the platform for the mezzanine will still be 7.5 feet, which is plenty high enough, and there will be a window hopefully up there. That's it. Oh yeah, one thing I want to give you a look at, I've got one of my windows, I've got to make frames for it. So this is a window that's going in there. I can pull this out of the way and show it to you. It's beautiful, it just fits perfect, just need to get frames for them. I have 4 of those and one double one which will go into that slot there. I have no header or anything on it. So I know this is probably cheating, but hard work chisel. So I need to just shimmy a little piece off the mortise here. I've already chiseled it, it's just a little bit tight. So I can't take any easier way than doing it. Then why not use modern technology? I've got this animal of a DeWalt rotor. The size of the bit, that's it, it's a plunge rotor. So that should make short work of this. I'm getting too old for this anyway. So let me see how this machine works. Here's another update on my workshop cabin. I've just completed the joinery in the beam structure for the front of it. So it's laying on the deck, and all of that will be just stood up. Now, those areas there to be trimmed and cut off, and all those pieces just brace pieces. Just getting it ready for the lift, the same over there in the corners. But all the joinery, it's all mortise and tenon, and all those big beams. So pretty happy with the way they worked out. So I just need to sand them and shape the ends of them. There's going to be an overhang of 18 inches because that beam is sitting 6 inches in from the edge of the deck, So it just sort of joins the 18-inch overhang on the roof. So all in all, pretty happy with it. Those are just bracing pieces just for the getting ready for the lift again. So probably next video I'll show you when they're completely sanded and finished. Okay, what I'm doing is, as you can see, all this beam structure here is finished, and I've braced it because the mortise and tendons are holding that, and I'm afraid when it goes out it's slipping out. That'll have to be slided out to the end of the deck because those pillars are going to be standing along here, and I need to treat the end of the beams and drill them for shoes. So I've created slipways here, and hopefully, I think there's 2,500 pounds weight per column. So I've got to slide it out, and the only way I can do it is by pulling it with the car, and hopefully not drive over the dog. I'm going to call for it here.
Fudge! Here, Fudgy! Put him into the car, yeah.
Into the car now, you'll see it. Can you go back down? Can you go? Go on, jump. Jump. Move over now, come on. Nima, you stay well back over there now.
Okay.
I'm going to move it a little while, and when I go out and look at it, you can stop. I can hear a lot of you asking, what in God's name am I doing with the glue? I was watching a YouTube video the other night and on ways to seal the end of a beam because most of the moisture is lost to the end and it causes cracks like you see here. So I'm using wood glue, and I must say I've used other sealants before, but this really makes a fabulous job. Let me show you. On the other end of it, just one coat. On the end of this, it's beautiful, completely sealed, and that main beam that runs at the very top of the wall plate. So that's what I'm going to do now. And that hole, actually, that hole there, the idea for that is I've got a 12-inch plate. It's an 8-inch pillar. I've got a 12-inch plate that will sit down on it, and there's a 25mm bar, 6 inches high, welded in the dead centre of it, with 2 strips of 3mm ribbon iron, the exact width of that. So the inch bar will go through that and it will sit down on top of it, and the ribbon iron will keep the pillar from touching the ground so that the water won't be touching the water and the water can pass under it. And of course, when I get this lifted, the main plate will be bolted to the decking, which I have solid beams under that to support it. Okay, here's a quick update on where I am with my cabin. As you can see, I have the pillar structure, should I say, completed and braced, ready for lifting. Last time I done the video, that was in here against the wall, and I needed to move it out so that I could drill those for the shoes that are going on it. So what I'm doing now is actually sealing the beams. So the next thing now is to raise it up and join it onto the wall with 6x6 beams, and that's the next move. So
There, am I behind it or am I in front?
no, you're fine. Lift it up and push it in. Can you extend that in further now? You can.
What do you mean?
Shove in the act of it, shove it in. Yeah, perfect.
Another maybe 2 meters.
No, that's grand. Oh, geez, that's brilliant. Perfect. Steady it off for 1 sec. Now with the first rail finished, and I need to do another one over there, so I'm just waiting on timber for that. So what I've started doing this morning is I'm cutting out templates for there, rafter templates for that, so I have that cut. And what I wanted to do with it was, I didn't want it overhanging. There's a 16-inch overhang here. I didn't want it to come out too far because it would hide the beam. I considered sitting it on a 6x3, but no, I'm going to let it sit on the beam. But I've only got a small bird's mouth on it, I'll show you. That's just a little bird's mouth that's on it, so it's only just going to sink it down into it a little bit with a 16-inch overhang. So that's what I'm doing, that's my template. So I've got 16 of those to cut out.
What are you doing?
Handrail. Forward here, just to the side, handrail. You alright? Don't give me a hand, no. Well, quick update. Well, as you can see, we got the beams raised behind me. Let me just give you a quick look. So yeah, we got those raised. Bit of fun doing that. So, and all propped into the wall plate, just below the wall plate. And this is what they look like here. So, a little bit of adjustment in some of them, but not too bad. And today then, I started the handrails for the side. Real beefy, chunky type handrails. So I just had to put a bit of the OSB sheeting in there. So that I wouldn't have to remove it afterwards. And pretty much the same out here. So just want to show you what the view from inside looking out looks like. If I can get out the bench out of the way. See, so it looks really nice. I already started to put up the supports for the ridge board. I told you earlier in previous videos that I've all that roof already made. So, but before I go at it, I want to completely sheet out all of this for safety because I'm not great with heights, and kind of take it from there. So, pretty happy with the way the beams worked out. Now, they need to be sanded, but the joints are pretty okay. Everything is good. Maybe one or two polishing up on that one up there. But other than that, not too bad. So, the next stage now is attack the roof. And the reason I started that handrail first, this is just I had some timber and I said, look, I'd use it because I'm only going to put it on both sides. I don't think I'm going to put it down here. I'm not too sure yet. I'll play it by ear and see. Okay, that's the update. Handrail. Only one of them. Okay, here is the next update on my cabin workshop since I was talking to you last. me just take you in. Since I was talking to you last, I think I have that side of the railing pretty much finished. Templates for the rafters cut. For the porch area, that's up. And I'm going to just take you upstairs. If you look up here, if you see that beam, that's the support for the purlin. That one in there is the support for the ridge board. And over here, the fact that there's a mezzanine going to be there, that's the support up onto the ridge, which I'll show you from above now. There'll be handrails going onto that, so that had to be 6 by 6, so that it would take a handrail on each side. So bear with me as we go up here. Not great with heights, mind you, but let me show you. Up here. So this is what this looks like up here. Okay, let me show you now. This is what it looks like here. So this is the purlin that's running along here. That's just a template of a rafter. This is the ridge beam, which is temporarily secured to the right height. So as you can see, I've got pretty good headroom. This is the view from up here. Now there's going to be, what I've got to do is I've got to run a ridge board from here to here, because this is a hip roof that's going to join into that. And as you see, the ridge board is well supported. And I've just got some sheeting on the ground here supporting that. Below you can see the columns, and out here, from here you can see the porch roof just looking out on over it. And this area here is where the hip roof will join in here. And as you see, I have the template of the rafter cut here on this one. So this will all be secured. So as you can see, the purlin is supported on a 6 by 6 mortise down into the beam. And that's the one that's sitting on the rail. That one there is a 6 by 6 beam supporting the ridge, and it's notched down into one of the 10 by 12 beams, which is 14 inches lower than the other one because it's used for a mezzanine. And so that's where I am at. So my next job is I've got to sheet off this area here along there, sheet off so that I can access this and just run the ridge that'll support in here. And I'm not 100% certain yet whether I'm actually going to just sheet it and put the metal cladding on it, or I'm going to tile it, or slate it, should I say. So we'll decide on that over the next couple of days. Okay, so that's the update. Thank you for watching. Hey Dick, just a quick update for you. I hope you're enjoying your Australian weather because it's pissing out of the heavens here. I'm up here on the roof. I'm just doing the porch area here and the entrance gable roof here. And let me tell you something for nothing. It is miserable weather here. But I want to get it finished. I have half it covered. I want to get as much as I can of it covered. Listen to that. Rain. And I'm dry finally. Yes, dry. I love the sound of rain beating down top of me when I can, and I'm not getting wet. Oh yes. That's what it looks like from in here. So we have just to trim off those up there. And there's the other porch, and that's in there. So I've got half of this first half filled, and I have the other half there, and then all the back to do. Oh yeah. Come on, more rain, more rain. That's it. Okay, like I said in the last video, that's too short. It's the first one, so I kind of learned a few mistakes. I've got to remake them. So 4 of them. So here they are here, cut with the tenon on them. Now the reason there's a shoulder tenon, the reason I haven't got those cut in an inch in off the shoulders is because I want to do the mortise first on the beams over here, as you see over here, and I want to make allowances for whatever size that ends up, so I can cut the width of the tenon in, because it's going to be hidden under the shoulder. My carpentry wouldn't be the best, so best to hide all these joints. So what I got to do now is cut that notch, and that's what I've marked off here. So it's 9 inches. 9 inches of a gap. The slot has to be cut into that. I tried it last time. The skill saw wasn't it?